All right, Coach, you give us an opening statement.
Yeah.
We'll take questions.
As our athletic director, Michael Kelly, just told me, one of the things he asked in these games is that we don't shoot a lot of free throws, so we get done in less than 2 hours. So mission accomplished there. It's amazing how fast the game can go when you only shoot 6 free throws and they only shoot 7. But, you know, we played a very, very good team tonight, very physical team, older, experienced, and they took it to us in the lane in the first half, very physical, both scoring in the post and on the glass. You know, challenged our guys a little bit at halftime because we were not rebounding the ball or guarding around the basket as well as we needed to. They were able to score almost all their points within 4 or 5 feet of the rim. And then our guys responded extremely well in the second half. Our defensive effort was great. You know, give my staff a ton of credit. 2 things they did. Suggested going to the zone, which was effective for us. Slowed them down a little bit, and then we changed our ball screen coverage in about midway point of the second half, and that was very, very effective. It's one of the reasons they had 20 turnovers. And you know, you can change stuff, and that's when you play in this thing. You know, because in the postseason, sometimes you got to change on the fly. Some things aren't working. You prepare for 2 days, and you don't know the teams as well, and now they're taking advantage of your coverages. So you got to make a change on the fly, and our guys did a great job. First the staff in suggesting it, but then it doesn't matter if the guys don't execute it. And our guys did an unbelievable job of executing the new coverage on the ball screen. They got up and they hedged it, and they got the guard out of sorts a little bit. And we were willing to give up a roll here or there without some of the other stuff that they were getting. So very pleased with the win. Great response by our guys. And again, I think you can tell these guys love playing. You know what I mean? They love playing. There's no question about that. And, you know, it was fun to see because they responded extremely well. We weren't as good defensively in the first half around the rim, but our guys responded very well in the second half. Give our big guys credit. They did a very, very good job. And then, you know, David and LaQuincy did a great job of kind of managing the game from the guard spot. So that was good to see. And, you know, TJ Lang's been really good for us the last couple games. You know, defensively, we started JB on Tolson, who was the player of the year in the WAC. We held him to 7 points and 6 turnovers. David guarded him some, but TJ did a great job on him as well. So we got some guys playing good basketball right now, and, you know, we keep getting better as a team. We were able to make some plays that even a month ago we wouldn't have been able to recognize or make it the right decision. So that's good to see.
Coach, can you talk about the growth you've seen over these past 2 games? Like particularly where you feel the team has gotten better?
Yeah, you know, I think, again, sometimes you have to be put in the back against the wall. If you don't change or make the plays, you're done playing. And that, you know, you have to go through those experiences to learn. You know, you have to be tested under fire a little bit to do that. You can't talk about it. We can watch games, and we watched some games together as a team last night. You can watch them, and you can see where a team screws up, and I can harp on the guys about free throw line cutouts or blockouts at the end of the game or whatever, but you have to go through it. You have to go through it in this type of situation, because earlier in the year, if you make that mistake, 2 days later you get to play again. You don't get to play again if you make those mistakes now, and it's been good. This is a group that our practices have been good, spirited. Guys are getting better. We're shooting the ball. We shot the ball well today, so we're getting everything out of this right now, which is great to see.
They kind of had to go inside because you were just taking away their perimeter thing. Was that kind of the key?
Yeah, I mean, those guys on the perimeter are good, you know. But we told them how good their big guys were. And then they, you know, McDougal didn't play in the last game, but he had played in other games where he played 10 minutes and had 11 points and 6 rebounds. You know, they're big. You know, obviously you have Mark Pope as the coach, who's done a great job there. 25 wins is the most wins that the program's ever had. He was a hell of a player now. Mm-hmm. I mean, tough as tough can be, man. I mean, that guy was good. And then Chris Burgess, his assistant, I think was the #1 player in the country coming out of high school at one point, went to Duke and then transferred to, I think, back to maybe BYU or Utah. So they got 2 big guys, so they know what the hell they're doing. Mm-hmm. And those guys have responded well. And those guys are older. and strong and physical. Outside of Houston, that's the most physical front line that we faced all year long. I said Mayan and Antune and Lex and Mike, they'll be in the cold tub in about 10 minutes because that was a slugfest around the basket. It really was.
You mentioned the perimeter shooting. You guys kind of beat them in their own game a little bit with your guys' three-point shooting. Talk on that, please.
Well, and the threes we took were really good because they came within the offense and guys moving the ball and sharing the ball and making the extra pass. And they were good. Even the ones we missed, and we missed 15 of them, I thought every single one of them was a good shot, you know. So that was good. 17 assists on 25 baskets is a good step for us. And we only had 4 turnovers in the second half. So that was, you know, in critical time we took care of the ball, which is a key area, guys, that we got to get better at. You know, we got to get better at taking care of the ball. You know, we're a hard driving team. They let us play a physical game, so not as many fouls called. So you got to adjust and be able to kick the ball out some, and we did that. And guys are ready to shoot. And our passing to those guys, it's a little thing. You know, the passes were on time and on target, which is big because you shoot the ball better, and our shooters were ready to shoot. So it was good to see. It was good to see. Offensively efficient in the second half was off the charts.
Coach, you're moving on to the semifinals of this tournament now. Can you talk about the value of this tournament, not only for the players, but the program as a whole so far?
Yeah, as I said, we're going to try to squeeze every ounce of positives that we can get out of playing in this thing, and I think our guys have done that. More practice time, more individual skill time, with a purpose, you know. I love individual skill. There's nothing better that I love doing than being in the gym working out guys, but now you're doing it with a purpose because you're still getting ready for games. The experience of, you know, a quick turnaround, 1 or 2 days, trying to get ready, develop a game plan, have the guys execute that game plan, understand it, and then execute it. And then like today, may have to adjust during the game. All those things are so important in terms of our development as a program. As I said it after the last game, it's imperfect progress is a good way to put it. And you got to embrace that. And I think our guys have really done a good job of that. They were excited to play. They were excited in that locker room. They were excited about finding out, you know, who we're going to play, where we're going to play them, all those different things. So I think, again, we're just trying to build some momentum in a program that didn't have any, you know, didn't have any. And when you look even, you know, back to the last 3 or 4 games last year, it's been pretty good. You know, it's been pretty good. And, you know, we got everybody back except for 2 guys heading into next year. But the best part about that is our guys ain't worrying about next year. They're trying to get, you know, trying to create something very, very special this year.
Coach, you guys dropped into the 2-3 zone in the second half.
Yep.
Force a turnover, and then Xavier comes out, hits a 3, kind of iced the game. Does he take that shot maybe a month ago?
No, and here's a big thing. He took a shot maybe 2 possessions before when we were executing well, and I jumped him a little bit, you know, because it was off of 1 pass or 2 passes, and he took a 3. So I jumped him. And then 2 possessions later, he brings it up. He's setting up the offense. They don't guard him. He rises up and shoots it. So no, he wouldn't have done that a month ago. And he kind of gave me a look when he made the shot, which is good. Which is good because every great team I've been a part of got guys that you can get on them, you can yell at them. The big phrase right now out there in college basketball, you can yell at them, and they got to respond. They got to respond, and our guys know that. And you know, I do it with Q and David all the time, so X isn't going to be anything different. But that was a big shot for us, and he rose up like he's been making those all year long, you know. And that's a change in the program too now. That's a little bit of a change in the program too, where guys have enough confidence and know they don't shoot it being afraid. You know, and he was good today. He was really good defensively again, which he kind of always is. So, but we made that stretch. Q picked up that 3rd foul. We had to go with him, and we got 3 freshmen on the court, and we extended the lead, and that was big for us.
Can you talk about the game Lex had?
Yeah, obviously 6 for 6 in the first half. Again, he responded. At last play of the first half, he blew a coverage and then didn't get the rebound. And White, I think, had scored maybe 3 straight possessions for them. So Lex came out in the second half and responded well. Big 3 that he hit, rebounded the ball. We were hurting on the glass. We didn't read -6 in the first half. But again, for a freshman in the second game of the postseason to get another double-double at 18 and 10, sometimes it becomes just commonplace. And as a coach, you try to fight that. But I just expect to look down at the stats and see him with double-digit points and double-digit rebounds. But 2 for 3 from the 3, which is good, because that's the next phase that he has to be able to do. He has to be at the 38-plus range from the 3, because it's just he's pretty good with the ball, so he can drive the ball. He's good scoring around the basket. Obviously, he's a high-level rebounder. But being able to consistently, especially in our offense, being able to spread the court so our guards can drive it, him knocking down threes is very, very important for us.
You guys lead this game for 33 minutes. The stark contrast to last time out. Talk about not having to chase the game and having the lead for most of it.
Yeah, it feels a lot better. I'm not nearly as tired as I was after that last one. I can tell you that. Every game is different, ebbs and flows in the game. They take, I think, a 39-37 lead in the second half, and we respond with maybe like a 15-2 run at that point. Our guy, we talk all the time about responding. E plus R equals O. You can't control all the events, but you can control your response, which usually determines the outcome. Our guys do a good job of that. Be it good events, bad events. The thing you can control is your response to those. And usually the more disciplined the response, the better the outcome. And our guys did a good job, because we went from 6, they cut it, and then they took the lead, and then we went right back at it, and that was good to see. Again, all these things, you take a step back, and they're just little marks of growth that you're starting to see.
How big is it to have all these home games in the postseason?
Well, for me, it's great. Just getting the fans here to be part of this is great, and getting the students here. Hopefully, if we get it done, we get to keep playing here and play some more games here would be great. The second thing is, for me, the challenge with these times, and I've been through it when you make a tournament run, is how much school you miss. And we're not missing any, which is great. Anything else?
That's good.